It's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this position. Hello and welcome to another video. It is your boy Jordan and I hope you're having a good day. In today's video, I get professionally stretched.
Say what?
That is correct, you did hear right. I recently got professionally stretched at StretchLab in London and I just want to give you my honest review. So let's do this. StretchLab is a wellness and fitness company that specializes in assisted stretching services. They offer one-on-one stretching sessions with trained professionals who assist clients in improving their flexibility, mobility, and overall range of motion. I recently discovered StretchLab for an Instagram reel, so I thought I'd go and check it out myself. I thought it would be a good idea to record it and show you in case you guys were as curious as I was. Stretching is really important. It's something that I don't really do as much as I should, so I thought I'd go and get it done professionally. First things first, before we get into the stretch itself, I just want to say a special thank you to the guys in StretchLab in Soho for allowing me to record it so I can show you guys. So it's a moment you've been waiting for. I'll finally get into the stretch now. So before we get started, she had a brief conversation with me, asked if I had any injuries or if there's any specific areas I would like to focus on. To be honest, I thought I knew the areas where I was least flexible. This is the calves, hamstrings, and hip flexors. She also asked if I had any injuries that she needed to be aware of, but in this moment of time, I'm injury free. Touch wood. So starting off this process, she used the Theragun and she had me laying on my stomach. So with the Theragun, she focused on every single muscle for a good while, focusing on all the muscles on the back of my body, from my calves to my glutes to my hamstrings to my back. So she really covered it all until she eventually asked me to flip over and she done all the muscles on my front. I thought this went on for about 5 minutes, but I didn't realize how long it was until I watched the video back. This was probably closer to 10, which makes perfect sense as the Theragun loosens all the muscles and gets blood flowing to them before they get stretched. The girl that stretched me was lovely throughout the whole process and she could feel how tense I was at the beginning of the stretch. She told me to focus on my breathing and she was talking to me throughout the whole process to put me at ease, and I actually felt a lot better with this. But I am not gonna lie, I really struggled relaxing right at the beginning of the stretch. I definitely did grow into it, but it did take me a good couple of minutes to do so. So first thing first, she started stretching the hip flexor. Then after she stretched it for a couple of seconds, she grabbed me by the ankle and was moving my hip around just to really loosen that hip flexor before going in and stretching it again. And once she was done with the hip flexor, she went into the hamstring, which she basically just pushed it as far forward as possible. And she was really lovely. She even showed me a hamstring progression I could do by myself, which I'm actually going to take and implement into my own training and stretching. The best thing about the hip flexor and the hamstring stretch is it made me realize that I'm above average on flexibility, considering I only stretched for 5 minutes at the end of each gym session. But there were areas which I was extremely lagging on, which I didn't even know about, and I'll tell you about that in a sec. After the hamstrings, we fully focused on the calves, and the calves were one of the 3 areas I was really lagging behind. And to be honest, they were a lot worse in terms of flexibility than I thought. In this moment, I thought about all the times I skipped calves, and it crossed my mind, I definitely need to start training calves more. I did tell her my calf flexibility and ankle mobility is non-existent, and I have tried getting to the habit of stretching my calves every single night before bed. I have seen a massive improvement in terms of ankle mobility and calf flexibility, especially with my squats. I did tell her this, and she was really nice enough to give me a couple calf stretches that I could do from home. And next, we went on to the glutes, and this was number 2 of my least flexible areas. And I haven't even got to number 1 yet, so I'm really excited to tell you guys this because I had no idea. I must have looked like I was in a lot of pain during this, and she made a joke about it.
I was acting Just keep breathing, making sure we're never holding our breath while we're stretching.
As you could hear, I said I found this one really difficult in talking me through this specific stretch and really putting me at ease during a difficult moment during the stretch. Once stretching the left glute was over, we then focused on the IT band, the calf, and the hamstring, and a little bit of lower back. And that's where we finished with the left side for now. To be honest, in this moment of time, I wish I stood up. I would have loved to see the difference between my left side and my right side. And I felt a massive release in my left side compared to my untouched right side. She then went through the exact same routine on my right side. And she also said that I was tighter on my right hand side than my left. And to me, that makes perfect sense because I'm left-footed. Lionel Messi over here. After the right side was complete, I then turned on my side and we done the quads. She told me I had really good quad flexibility. I was really shocked when I heard this. This is the stretch what I always do after my leg day. So go ahead, add this one into your own routine. It works. So I'm not gonna lie, from the quad stretching onwards, I don't have any more footage. My camera actually died. This was about 35 minutes into the stretching session, and that more or less concluded the lower body stretches. I have a vague memory of the order of the rest of the routine, but I do remember the lats being my least flexible and my most painful. When she was stretching this area, I had a really strong pain in my lats and my back actually clicked. This was my most painful stretch and my most beneficial. To be honest, I had no idea how bad my lat flexibility was. That's one thing I've definitely learned from seeing a stretchologist, starting start incorporating lat stretches into my daily routine. So after the trauma I experienced from my lat stretches, she worked her way up to my shoulder. And this one was really relieving, as you can really feel the pull in your shoulder joint, and it's really beneficial if you're working on a desk all day. Then after the shoulders, she got me to sit upright at the edge of the bed and just done the rest of my shoulders and my back from this position. And also from this position, she stretched my lats again. And I also remember this being the only movement that I was trembling with. So after the quads to this point, this is roughly 15 minutes of footage what I didn't get, and that's the end of the stretch. Takeaways from this, I actually really loved this and I found this beneficial. Like I said, in terms of the lats, I had no idea that I wasn't flexible in that area. Also, I did get some takeaways from this. The lovely lady that was stretching me did give me a couple stretches I could take home and do. The big question is, how much was it and how long was it for? So I paid £65 for a 50-minute massage. Is it worth the money? 100%, because I learned a lot about my body, which I didn't even know. And I learned the lack of flexibility in specific areas, and I know areas which I need to work on, for example, my calves, my glutes, and my lats. And finally, would I do it again? And my answer is 100% yes.
1,000 times yes.
This is something I'd like to incorporate into my monthly routine and do this once a month and really focus on my flexibility and mobility. But anyways, if you've made it to the end of this video, I actually really appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you found this video beneficial, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. So until next time, peace.